let's listen to what she says. I'll be honest. The first half of her speech, I'm like, okay. I find it kind of irrelevant. But then she finishes out her statement to the reporter in a pretty badass way, I feel. So I was rooting for her by the end of this.
Because he had problems with the organization.
He had problems with the organization. Yeah. So he's having problems with the country, the different country directors, right? They're telling their girls not to post a sponsorship that the Miss Universe organization actually wants and requires everyone to post. So that's a conflict there.
And I think that's not fair because I'm here and I do everything okay. I just anyone. I just try to be kind. I'm trying to give my best and he just shot me.
Okay, so she, again, like, she feels personally victimized, right? It's very, like, I don't know, it's too emotional for me. Of course, I'm aware that English is not her first language either, so I'm not talking about that. But the gag is, though, at the end of all of this, actually, I think the way that this whole situation played out, it works completely in her favor. If Miss Universe pageant wasn't on your radar before, it definitely is now. I don't think you would pay for this level of exposure. I think it's gonna be, I don't know what you would call it, a landslide viewing of the final Miss Universe. When is it going to be held anyway? The final pageant or runway or whatever. Friday, November 21st. Okay, that's going to be the pageant, right? So this was just the, like, one of the pre-ceremonies, the sash ceremony. If it's me, like, there's no way. It's not, I'm not saying that it's because I have so much self-control. I just literally, like, I cannot be brought to give an F about most things, especially if it's some old plastic surgery up CEO, like Thai billionaire type guy. See, I feel like he definitely has had a lot of work done on his face. So in a way, it kind of signals his solidarity to the Miss Universe brand, does it not? I mean, I feel like he's clearly had some sort of facelift, or I don't think this is a good picture, but if you look at other pictures of him, he has quite good skin. I will give that to him. You know, he has a very dewy skin. You know, he's on that 7-step Korean skincare regime. I feel like in a way, it's kind of like, it shows that he's in the trenches with all the girls. Like, he, in a way, he understands. He's there with them, fighting the good fight with the skincare and the procedures. Okay, I'll stop. Let's go through the rest of the video. So yeah, I could never bring myself to care this much about what some old irrelevant, like, rich guy that we're basically just using him for, you know, the money and the business connections. I could not care enough to even feel like personally victimized by it. But in this particular case, though, it's actually going to work in our favor, though, because just think about the optics of beautiful, young, poised woman amongst the most beautiful in the world, right? We're talking about the Miss Universe pageant. The optics of a beautiful young woman clearly in distress, clearly upset because somebody harassed her or was singling her out and unfair to her. That alone, that's gonna gain her so many, like, sympathy points, and people are very quick to melt in front of a beautiful face, especially a beautiful woman that is in distress. There's a saying in Japanese that as women, our tears are weapons, basically, right? And it's true. I'm not saying that she's using her tears as a weapon here. Like, I think she's genuinely distraught, and she's only 25, so it makes sense. Yeah, maybe if I was 25, I would also be upset and take everything personally, but I'm 36 now, right? So I really don't give a shit. Like, I'm just there to find out where the free food is. But yeah, so it's gonna work out in her favor, though, in the end, regardless of whatever the true intentions of that Nawat guy was, because everyone on her side now. Just the optics alone of a beautiful woman being shunned or being singled out, this powerful rich old guy trying to humiliate this young beautiful woman that is just, like, trying to represent her country well and stand for all smart, empowered women on a world stage. Yeah, that for sure, that's gonna translate into a check for her, a cute check, to be blunt. So good for her. I hope she capitalizes on this moment.
And I think that's not fair because I'm here and I do everything okay.
She's saying, like, I'm doing everything right. So in her mind, she's like, I'm following all the rules. I'm not I'm not breaking any rules. I'm not inconveniencing anyone.
I don't mess with anyone. I just try to be kind. I'm trying to give my best. And he just shot me. And he just said to me, and shut up, and a lot of different things.
I don't understand why he shouted at me and told me to shut up. He didn't say shut up. He said, why are you talking while I'm talking? Again, not defending him. I think it was an asshole move. Particularly when he said security, that's when I was like, oh dude, you're cooked. Because I was giving you the benefit of the doubt up until that point. But when he said security, I was like, all right, well, at this point, I can't even feel bad for you, even if he's kind of in large part being hung by social media or by the internet for, I think, largely on miscommunications and false assumptions about what he actually meant. Because again, I don't think he said the word dumbhead, but that part when he called out the security, that was a pointed attempt at trying to assert his power. But the thing is, like, in his mind, that's not what he was trying to do, right? In the grand picture, what we are looking at is that, oh, this is an old guy. He's trying to humiliate and put under his thumb all of these beautiful young women. I'm sure that in his head, that's not at all what the issue is. In his head, he feels like, hey, I don't understand what's going on. Like, I'm supposed to be the MC, and why did this young lady, first of all, get so upset? Because I don't think, like, by the time they were deep into that back and forth, and then the other girls started to stand up, I don't even think at that point that he even realized or knew that she thought he had just called her dumb to her face, right? So I think, like, that is where the communication started to rapidly deteriorate, because she was reacting from the vantage point of, you just called me dumb in front of this entire room of people, and why did you single me out? But from his perspective, he's like, oh my god, why is she having such a strong reaction to just me expressing my disappointment at people not following the rules? Like, from his perspective, again, I'm not like taking sides or anything, but he's like, what is so wrong, or like, what was so abusive about me just pointing out that she was one of the people that did not post the sponsored social media post that she was supposed to do, contractually obligated, maybe, I don't know the specifics, but like, whoever agrees to participate in the Miss Universe pageant, they're all supposed to post sponsored social media posts. So why didn't she do it? So anyway, you can tell she's very, very emotionally choked up and upset, and she's trying to hold her composure.
And he just said to me, and shut up, and a lot of different things. And I think the world needs to see this, because we are empowered women, and this is a platform for our voice. And no one can shut our voice.
Okay.
And no one will do.
And she's very cute. I have to say, she's very likable and very cute. You know what? Good for you, girl. She's right. No one can shut your voice down. However, no one was trying to silence you, though, necessarily. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, I really hope whoever watches this understands where I'm coming from. I think it's a cultural thing, and I think it's a matter of, 25-year-old girls taking everything personally because they're still in that mode of, they want to prove themselves to people, and they're still like wanting to be a social justice warrior, wanting to correct and fight back at every single guy that they perceive to make some sort of slight against them. You'll largely grow out of that by the time you hit 30, trust me, because you realize that it doesn't even matter. Nothing is going to come from such an interaction that's going to infringe on your everyday life. So A, it doesn't matter. B, most of the time, it actually really was just a misunderstanding or an assumption on your part. Like, you will never know for 100% sure what the other side is saying. But once you really come into yourself as a woman and you strengthen your self-concept and everything, I don't know, like me, I feel like I'm on the other side of the spectrum now. Like, I'm so preoccupied with myself, and I assume the positive so much in every situation that there were probably times that people have actually legitimately tried to shade me, and it legitimately just went over my head, because I take everything as an actual compliment, or just like, oh wow, what a weird thing to say, or what an interesting thing to say. And then, maybe they really did want to throw a subtle jab at me, but I'm so like Pollyanna, head in the clouds these days, that I take everything as a compliment anyway. So whatever tactic that they tried to cut me down a peg, it always backfires on them anyway, because I took it as a compliment, right? And then by that point, they cannot reveal their hand. They can't be like, oh wait, I didn't mean it as a compliment, I meant it as a diss, right? Because that would totally expose their ass in front of the entire group. So then it's almost like they have to go with the story that they meant to compliment me to begin with. Like, this is the chess game, okay, that I want all of the girls that are watching me, but all of us ladies as a collective, no matter what age you are, this is the level of chess that I personally want to see more of being played out in the world. But interestingly enough, though, I said before that I think this particular situation, it's so ironic. It tickles me that at the end of the day, even though I feel like, yeah, there's a lot of misunderstandings that happened, and this all could have been avoided if just like so much confusion and tension caused by a clash of different cultures all in the same room. Like the entire thing did not have to happen, right? Except that it just takes one person or one girl, you know, Miss Mexico in this case, to really take things to heart and feel like she's the one being singled out and being humiliated, you know, which I truly I have sympathy for. But it's like, to me, that was not the chess move that I personally would have hoped for. But yet, ironically, it inadvertently is turning out to be probably better publicity than she or any of the contestants in this year's Miss Universe could have ever imagined. It's better than any, you know, PR campaign that they could have paid for with money, right? This is actual gold. So this is gonna turn into a real bag for them, I feel like. Not just her, but there's another one, the current Miss Universe, Victoria from Denmark. See, I did my research before this one. So the current reigning Miss Universe title holder, whose name is Victoria, she is also one of the ones that walked out of the room in solidarity with Miss Mexico. So they're all going to get a bag out of this, all right? And at this point, I don't want to see them waste this opportunity. They better be launching their eyelash brands. I want to see, like, yeah, shoe brands, you know, dress brands, makeup launches in the coming months. Don't waste this opportunity, right? It's perfect because that Nawat guy, like, yeah, he should be the one to take the fall because he's a rich old man. So it doesn't matter if you're a rich old man and people hate you in this world. You can still go on living a good life. If the tables were turned, though, that would be a more difficult situation to navigate. It's much, much harder to be a beautiful woman that is like reviled and canceled by the world, because people will remind you of that every single day. And like, people have active, you know, vicious hatred towards beautiful women who they perceive to be less than perfect, right? Amber Heard, anyone? But if you're a man, you can do a large number of heinous things. You can be an asshole. You can be caught in like a moment like this where you really bombed in an attempt to express your frustration. Like you took his frustration out on the wrong people. You could say he should have taken it up with the country directors that were telling their girls to do all of these shady things, or that maybe in his mind they weren't respecting the local Thai sponsors, or maybe in extension, Thailand itself, right? So there's a huge possibility of all of those kind of like undercurrent of sentiments going on in Nawat's head. But at the end of the day, because he's a guy, he's pretty much immune, because the public is gonna have a field day hating on him. They'll make their memes for a couple of weeks and then they'll forget about it, right? Because he's a guy and he's going to continue to be the rich chairperson and CEO of whatever company in Thailand. It's not going to affect his everyday life. Whereas if it was a woman that did the same kind of thing or made the same level of social faux pas that was like captured on camera and broadcast to the entire world, that woman would have her entire life ruined, probably, which is a very, very sad distinction to draw, but I think worth pointing out here. So
that to me, and I don't have a problem with any one of you. You have my respect, and I love your country. That he treats me without any reason just because he has problems, that is not okay.
It's not without any reason, okay, girl? Like, you were all supposed to post social media content and some of you did not, right? And it may not, I'm sure, like, yeah, from her perspective, it's valid. She feels like maybe she was caught between a rock and a hard place, or like her loyalty is to her country director. But, you know, people have differing perspectives on that, right? Of course, the director of the entire Miss Universe organization is going to feel that your ultimate loyalty should be to the Miss Universe organization. It shouldn't be to your country director. But like, again, when you get older, you're going to realize that, okay, you're going to be able to like zoom out more and see the situation for what it is. And that's going to allow you to not take everything so personally, right? Because even if somebody gets upset with you, you're going to be able to understand that they're not really upset with you. It's more just like the entire situation and all the different powers that be or factors that play is just a shit show through and through. Like, it doesn't really have anything to do with personal vendettas or grudges. I mean, people they do hold grudges and form alliances and stuff too, but that's an entirely different discussion, right?
And I hope that everyone at home, every woman, doesn't matter if you have a big dream, if you have a crown, if that's take away your dignity, you need to go. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so this is where she won me over. I was kind of like, okay, yeah, go off, girl, for the first 80% of her speech, but I really did like how she closed it out here.
Woman, doesn't matter if you have a big dream, if you have a crown.
It doesn't matter if you have a dream or a crown.
If that
takes away your dignity,
you need to go. Thank you.
I mean, yeah, mic drop. That's I like the fact that she closed out with that statement. Again, whether or not it can be so neatly like 100% applied to this case, it's a very, very important message, I think. And I think it's great that just the virality of this moment alone, like someone out there needed to hear that, right? That no amount of money, no crown, no title is worth your integrity and your dignity. That I stand 10 toes down on as well. So congratulations to Miss Mexico. I feel like she won basically, right? So yeah, and then this is the former Miss Universe, or I guess the current reigning title holder that won last year, Denmark.
The women's rights. I'm so sorry. We need to do something bigger. We have respect for everyone, but this is not about things.
It's so funny, like the way that they talk is so pageant girl coded. It's something that I myself have become intimately familiar with through my journey walking in these Chinese traditional wear beauty pageants throughout this entire year. They teach us how to talk like this as well. They're like, yeah, you have to make sure you're poised, and then even if you cry, if you win the Grand Prix and you cry, make sure that you smile through your tears. No, but I love it. I mean, this is like part of the benefits, I feel like, that come from participating in a pageant. You learn how to be more poised and how to express your thoughts in a very graceful, like stately manner, because you never know, you might marry a prince someday and have to address the entire nation.
To trash another girl is beyond disrespectful.
Trash is a strong word. Like, yeah. Trash is a strong word. When I saw Nawat up there complaining about people not doing the proper sponsorships, or perhaps also promoting certain gambling sites when they're not supposed to, because gambling is illegal in Thailand, right? I never got from it that he was trashing or singling out Miss Mexico or any other girl. I'm so sorry. Again, I wasn't there for the whole ceremony, so I could be completely off base, but that's not the sense that I got whatsoever. It was more so just, okay, he's kind of like taking out his frustration on these pageant contestants, which is kind of a shitty thing to do, right? Because they're not really, like, they don't have a choice but to be there and sit through his speech. So it's kind of like, you could say he's taking advantage of his power, and he's using his position as the director of Miss Universe to feel powerful, to wield his power over these girls. But then in the end, though, clearly it backfired on him, because this is not a bunch of like Thai girls that are just used to these antics from the old men in their generation or in their country that would just like sit down and roll their eyes until it's over. This is women from 75 different countries, some of which have quite like outspoken cultures, right? Or the norm for the women of that culture is to be a little more outspoken and a little more fiery. So yeah, like he really caught a huge stray this time. I feel like I don't think he was anticipating this type of response or fiasco at all. But trash, I don't think that's what was happening exactly. No one was trashing anyone. It was more like he was just kind of throwing his own tantrum up there on stage. And then she happened to, make the unfortunate choice to get in the crossfires by like talking back to him, which annoyed him even more. It's like, it's more nuanced than that. But trash, I don't know if I can agree with that.
That's why I'm taking my phone and I'm going.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, just leave him.
Oh. Wow, this just makes me want to visit Thailand even more. First, there was the White Lotus season 3 earlier this year, which I was not a fan of the finale at all, by the way. I was quite disappointed. But anyway, this video is not about that. I really want to go to Thailand now.